Colleagues, I think we can get started and resume work. So the final session will be devoted to photogrammetry, and UAS has again, I have been honored to moderate. RACURS'S is celebrating 25 years this year, so we took the liberty to call this session 25 years on the world market. Even though I don't like plugging things in, I couldn't but use this opportunity to tell you again about what RACURS'S does. So what is RACURS'S today? Here's our business mission. It has remained the same throughout the years: to provide the worldwide community with advanced and cost-effective digital photogrammetry solutions and services for creation of a wide range of output products from the available remote sensing data. Our scope of activity includes developing and integrating into Russian and international markets. We also have our own production services. We are engaged in R&D in the field of remote sensing data, processing software, methods and algorithms. We also distribute spaceborne data, and we have good rapport with all providers of such data, be it US, Korea, Europe. We're members of every plausible association. And each slide is going to contain such serious or facetious statements. Our employees count over 50. We have 60 partners across 45 countries, including in Greece. Nearly 10,000 PHOTOMOD workplaces have been opened around the world. And we created 17 million square kilometers worth of digital maps, digital elevation model, and orthophoto plans for different countries and continents of the world. We're visible at various international events. We are standing partner to the SPRS, which we attend every year. Intergeo, Interexpo, Geo Siberia in Novosibirsk. We had an exposition in Americas, in Iran. There are a lot of articles written to tell about RACURS'S and its products. We have a production department, as I told you already, which makes a lot of products. Any production never uses the result it produces. Therefore, we do all the processing using our own system. And this is a list of conferences which we already conducted. The first one was in Irkutsk, Russia. We have a representative responsible for organizing it. Then we had a couple in Russia, then decided to go beyond the border of Russia. And this year we decided to go back to Greece, even though We already had one conference in Greece, but this is a special place, of course, so we couldn't but use this opportunity. RACURS'S history throughout the years. Set up in 1993, we were like guinea pigs. We didn't have anything but the ideas. Nevertheless, we continued on our course. We stayed the course and were recognized with a special award last year for PHOTOMOD. We are a great company with excellent people. These are some of the milestones in our company's development. We are a pretty old company, one might say. When we were very small and the early version of PHOTOMOD was released in English, and we started developing our partner network. Our first partner was from France, the second one from Austria. We started using some serious vocabulary from photogrammetry. Been asked to compile a business plan to promote PHOTOMOD around the world in the hope of being purchased by Microsoft. But it didn't happen. We simply realized that photogrammetric niche is very small. It's not something that you use every day, but we were never frustrated. It only inspired us to move on forward. And we're still making it, achieving it, results. These are the organizations that help us work around the world. These are our dealers. Australia uses PHOTOMOD heavily. Last year, we received a copy of an interesting magazine where PHOTOMOD was described. China is a big market. Next presentation will be just about that, about how PHOTOMOD is conquering the Chinese market, and we're very thankful to our partners for believing in us. Each dot on this map indicates that there is a dealer or at least one system installed in the country, so a total of 80 countries thus far. Now let's look at PHOTOMOD development from a technological point of view. If a program is useful, it will have to be changed. That's another wise statement on this page. In 1994, certain groundwork of foundations have been laid for PHOTOMOD to come. I mean, stereo pair, DEM, tin, contour lines, vectors, orthophoto. In 2018, the system still allows to produce the same product. But unlike the 1994 outputs, we're now able of processing unlimited number of images from different sources, hundreds and thousands of images. So we keep modifying it, we keep upgrading it all the time. Since the systems are sold around the world, different localizations are necessary, language localization. So at the moment, PHOTOMOD is available in Chinese, Greek, English, Russian, and Spanish. Translation, courtesy of our dealers, and we are happy that these versions are supported. I of course, I cannot understand what the translation into Chinese, but I hope it's correct because it sells well. So what PHOTOMOD is capable of? Processing of aerial and satellite images to start with, and the others I'm sure you know about them. And we can run images through different procedures to satisfy the needs of every customer. Of course, the market is developing, computational capabilities are getting enhanced. Therefore, we started targeting network applications. Now we are dealing in clusters. We've gone on the cloud. And we have users who have dozens and hundreds of PHOTOMOD workstations at one entity, all interconnected and intertwined, carrying out important tasks of national importance. Now let's talk about special equipment. The previous session's speaker already made an intro to this subject. There are active glasses, passive glasses, anaglyph glasses that we never forget, the beloved anaglyph glasses. We support different kinds of manipulators. Tomorrow we will be shown how to handle glasses, special stereo glasses. When we say PHOTOMOD, it means a large number of various modules. Some of them have come free of charge, others you have to pay for. You can select specific solutions tailored to your needs. I see people from the forest sector. So PHOTOMOD stereo measure is just for them. So we try to create a ramified system of photogrammetric solutions capable of addressing different tasks. By the by, different modules are free of charge, downloadable from our website. I guess this is part of our mission, promoting them in such a way into wider circles of public who are eager to know about PHOTOMOD, input and output data. You all know what remote sensing is, and that input data can vary. It can be UAS generated or spaceborne or aerial photography or radar images. Anything that can be processed will be processed by PHOTOMOD. And special technological solutions are integrated into the system. You can then export this information into popular CAS systems, because the value of the program is proportionate to the amount of data that it produces. Photogrammetry is now developing toward automation, and you can now download a certain amount of information, then you set up your PHOTOMOD and you generate a certain workflow, press one button and you get the final product. That is our aspiration.
This is what we're trying to achieve. Remember, when people pay money for knowing what button to press. So photogrammetry hasn't become yet so simple and straightforward. Professor Chubunchev is not here yet now, but we have been discussing with him. He's here. Okay, good. So we've been discussing with him for many times that it's very necessary to teach new students how to do photogrammetry, because if they only press the button and get a solution, they will still manage to press the wrong button eventually. That's why we are very proud that in many universities of Russia and the world, PHOTOMOD is the basic software for training students how to do photogrammetry. I must tell you that our people also manage to train students here. We have some people who, via internet or Skype, teach in the United States different photogrammetric solutions. Again, it goes to show that the world is closely knit and specialists are helping each other. PHOTOMOD is going into clouds. A few interesting presentations were made here by Andrei Sechin and Yuri Reisman, showing that each one of you no longer needs to buy the whole system, but by paying a few dollars for $1 to Yuri Reisman and working the system for a year, by paying for it many times, you can enjoy yourselves, and Yuri Reisman will enjoy himself and us as well. So please use clouds and pay hourly rate, but work for long. All over the world, there are many training courses in PHOTOMOD. More recently, now we have a tradition one. Our colleagues coming to visit us from other countries are entering my office, and they have a group photo taken. But here, colleagues, if I remember, these people are from South Korea. Again, people working with Earth remote sensing data know that South Korean satellites, ComSat, are very popular in the market, and the Korean Space Agency, as well as the company which uses those satellites, are promoting them on the global market, and we train their specialists. And our specialists, of course, travel all over the world. I must tell you that those people who remember the old Soviet times, foreign trip have always been a big bonus, but now it's not always easy to run our people away abroad. Once somebody said that Swiss conference is always good. My specialist says, no, I won't go there, you won't make me. Anyway, the technical support provides does its best, and Dmitry Korchergin can be sometimes seen in Russia, but it's not so easy, and he keeps sending deplorable letters from all those places that he visits. But of course, if you work with PHOTOMOD, you need to read the manual first, and the user manual might be quite handy, because the way we know it, the user manual written for PHOTOMOD perhaps has never been read in full by anybody, but it's still regularly updated. I'm coming to an end of my presentation. I think I'm within my slot. PHOTOMOD is a constantly evolving system. First of all, we see new requirements to the end information and user information, and at one of the meetings, I don't remember, it was a conference or something, when we were discussing who will be the end user of the cartographic information, say 10, 20 years, and we agreed that the end users will be the UAVs, driverless cars and robots. So we need to understand that the users are changing too, and the forms of presentation of this information is changing. Photogrammetry is developing because now we have more and more new interesting sensors, platforms. Here in previous presentations we heard about new cameras. Of course, the development is happening because of the changes of the hardware. We couldn't even dream 25 years ago, when we were just starting to build these systems, to think about this kind of power and memory levels that are possible. Nowadays it's simply out of this world. I remember 20 years ago I participated in some Academy of Sciences who spoke about the absolute limits, what computers are potentially possible, and we're way over those limits by now. And of course algorithms are developing along with science, and we're trying to develop new things as well. A few words about the future, where photogrammetry is developing, where we are moving along with this. that we are progressing independent of the sensors and platforms. As I mentioned, we are trying to make our systems fully automatic, but to make them fully automatic, we need to know photogrammetry well and what it is based on, and train students on how to use it. I'm speaking about the teachers who are present here. Naturally, because of the development of hardware, perhaps photogrammetry, like many other geoinformational solutions, will move towards clusters and clouds, and I think we shall discuss it tomorrow at the round table. And we shouldn't forget that our world is 3D, and the end product, and we keep talking about topographic maps, but we speak about orthophoto maps, and I guess more and more popular will be the end products that will be more in line with our perception of the 3D world. And we shall speak about this as well, and we'll show you some things during our roundtable discussions. And in conclusion, I'd like to finish it with a quotation that I like very much of a provost of Wuhan University. Mr. Shimen-sen knows this university and maybe knows Professor Lee, who said at the Congress in 2016, this is ISPRESS Congress in Czech Republic, that photogrammetry and remote sensing and geoinformation in big data era, and we all live in big data era now, will face more opportunities and more challenges when building smart Earth and smart cities. And our discipline will surely contribute more to the sustainable development of human society. I would also like to add to it that now we're very close to the time when we can also, aside from the terms of smart Earth and smart cities and smart home, introduce a new term, smart photogrammetry, and this is exactly what we're working on. Thank you. And questions? I think that this very general presentation shouldn't cause too many questions. That was just an introduction to history.